On her Instagram stories, Savannah Chrisley revealed she was in a car accident last week. A car accident that was her fault. And a car accident that ended in road rage. What happened? Is Savannah Chrisley alright? Is her car alright? Is the other car and driver alright? Keep reading, we've got the scoop. Or you can scroll down and watch the video with Savannah's recount of the car accident. As we previously reported, Savannah Chrisley and Nanny Faye got into a bit of a tiff over driving recently. Savannah noted that her grandmother racks up serious mileage on her cars in no time. Nanny Faye noted it was because she does a lot of driving and has a lot of places to go. She implied Savannah really doesn't drive anywhere. Savannah, however, insisted she drives her car anywhere she needed to go. Last weekend, it turned out where Savannah needed to go was to Chick-fil-A for a bite to eat. Based on her recount of the car accident, it sounds as if she was driving to the restaurant when she got in the accident. And it sounded like she was in the drive-thru waiting for her food as she recounted the accident to her followers. Savannah Chrisley explained that she was merging into the turn lane in traffic. She admits that she thought she had plenty of room to get over, but she was wrong. She didn't. Savannah explains she ended up nailing some guy's car. Realizing she clipped the guy's mirror, she stopped to see if there was any damage to her car or his. Savannah Chrisley admits she was relieved and lucky there was no damage to her car or his. The car accident, however, was clearly Savannah's fault, and the guy was furious. Road rage ensued as the guy proceeded to flip Savannah off for nailing his car. She explains that he sped off shortly after overall. Savannah was pretty proud of herself. She admits that she normally doesn't have the best track record with patience, and she thought she composed herself in a decent manner during the accident. Did you know Savannah Chrisley got in a car accident last weekend? Are you relieved to know the outcome of the car accident wasn't too bad? Isn't it unfortunate the other driver got so aggressive with Savannah? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. And keep coming back for the latest on Chrisley Knows Best. The heat clung to Nashville like a second skin that afternoon. Asphalt shimmered beneath the glare of the sun, distorting the skyline like a fever dream. Savannah Chrisley had left a midday meeting in Midtown, sunglasses shading tired eyes, a bottle of water sweating condensation in the cup holder. Her Range Rover hummed down the winding corridor of Music Row, Bluetooth echoing a voicemail from her publicist, something about a podcast slot next week, and the need to steer clear of Twitter drama until further notice. She wasn't listening closely. Her mind drifted, tangled in headlines, family updates, and the low thrum of anxiety that never quite left her chest. Her brother's legal situation still loomed. Her parents' absence echoed in daily routines, and the weight of it all pulled at her shoulders like invisible sandbags. The traffic thickened near the West End. A sudden screech of brakes jerked her attention forward. A red pickup truck in the adjacent lane cut across two solid lines and swerved directly in front of her, missing her bumper by inches. Her foot slammed on the brake, tires shrieked, and her body jolted forward against the seatbelt. Metal crunched. Her back right quarter panel took the impact first, a jarring, sickening thud that sent vibrations through her spine. The car rocked violently as it collided with a concrete divider, scraped along it, and stopped in a cloud of fine road dust and rubber smoke. Behind her, horns blared. Ahead, the red pickup truck had stopped, its brake lights blinking like a taunt. She sat frozen for a moment, breath shallow, heart racing. The vehicle hadn't flipped, and the airbags hadn't deployed. That was good. That had to be good. Then, the door of the pickup flew open. A man in his late 40s, tall and wiry with a sunburned face and oil-stained jeans, stormed out of the truck, his face contorted with fury, veins visible on his neck, fists clenched. He approached her vehicle with purpose, movements sharp and filled with intention. Savannah's hand hovered over the door handle, uncertain. This wasn't the type of accident that would end with exchanged insurance cards and apologetic small talk. There was something unhinged in the man's eyes, wild, reckless, the kind of rage that ran deeper than a traffic incident. She stayed seated, Her car door remained locked. The man began yelling, gesturing wildly, pointing at his own truck, then at her vehicle, then at the scraped concrete barrier. His face grew redder by the second, spit flying from his mouth as he shouted accusations she couldn't hear. Other cars slowed, a few drivers rubbernecking from behind their dashboards. No one stopped. The man slapped her window. Once, twice. The third time was with a closed fist. She flinched but didn't move inside the vehicle. Her hand reached slowly toward the center console, touching her phone. One tap hand, the camera was recording. Another, and she silently activated emergency mode. GPS. Location shared. A moment of foresight drilled into her by too many close calls in the public eye. The man circled the car. He kicked her back tire. He pointed at the dented panel like a crime scene. Then, with a sudden lurch, he yanked the driver's side door handle again. Still locked. Savannah remained stone-faced. She wasn't giving him anything, not fear, not compliance, not an inch of emotional ground. Eventually, the man seemed to realize the futility of his actions. His rage turned outward. He turned back toward his truck, kicked a traffic cone on the shoulder, then yanked open his door and climbed back inside, muttering profanities even as he shifted into gear. Before she could process what he was doing, he reversed abruptly, tires screeching again, and then pulled around her with reckless speed. His truck veered into the shoulder, then back into traffic, swerving past cars like a pinball. And then he was gone. Sat there, still in the driver's seat, hands now trembling. The adrenaline surged belatedly. Her foot hovered over the brake, not quite ready to release it. Her vision blurred slightly as her pulse pounded in her ears. Behind her, someone tapped on the passenger side window. A younger woman, maybe in her 30s, held up a phone as if to ask if Savannah needed help. Savannah nodded slowly. The woman mimed calling 911. Savannah nodded again. In the minutes that followed, sirens began their distant cry. Police arrived first, then an ambulance. The responding officer took statements, cataloged the damage, asked if she had any injuries. No, she said. Nothing serious. Just a sore neck. Just shock. The footage on her phone showed the man's face clearly. His aggressive approach, the kicks, the punches, the screaming. She offered it up silently. The officer took it without question. The woman who had stopped to help stayed nearby. She had filmed part of it too, offered it up quietly, asked for no credit. Just wanted to make sure Savannah was okay. Just wanted to help. The officer nodded, radioed in a description of the truck and license plate. A hit and run. Possible assault charges. He didn't say road rage, but the implication hung heavy in the air. Later, at the hospital, the x-rays came back clear. Minor bruising, no whiplash. She was lucky, they said. Fortunate. Someone must have been watching out for her. She didn't feel lucky. The story broke within hours. News outlets ran headlines that twisted the facts, softened the edges, or sharpened them unnecessarily. Reality star Savannah Chrisley involved in violent road rage incident. Savannah Chrisley escapes injury in shocking car accident. Savannah Chrisley targeted in rage-fueled collision. None of them told the full story. None of them mentioned the fear that settled into her bones afterward. The way her hand shook every time she reached for her car keys for the next several days. They didn't describe the nightmares that came in waves. Unseen fists slamming against windows, faceless men screaming threats she couldn't hear. The headlines didn't account for the way she flinched when someone walked too quickly behind her at the grocery store, or the way she parked closer to exits than entrances, eyes always scanning. Her team managed the media, released a statement, thanked law enforcement, emphasized her gratitude for the Good Samaritans, assured fans that she was doing well. She was not doing well, but she was surviving. Weeks later, the man was arrested in Alabama. He had a record, multiple incidents of aggression, a DUI, an assault charge dropped due to lack of evidence. This time, there would be evidence. There were videos. There were witnesses. The case wouldn't go to trial. A plea deal would likely follow. Her legal team would ensure a restraining order was filed, that she'd never have to face him again.